Welcome to Rants and Rabbit Trails. I'm your host, Morgan.
And I'm your host, Pearl.
How are you doing today, Pearl?
Oh, I'm doing dandy.
We're doing okay.
We're having a morning.
It's, yeah.
It's a day. So is Peanut, honestly.
Peanut,
There's something in the atmosphere.
Yeah, apparently.
But that's okay.
We soldier on. We're here, and today we have some Am I the Asshole posts that we handpicked.
I'm so excited.
We're gonna go back and forth and share as we do.
This is the first time, by the way, that I've ever, actually looked these up myself. I've seen different, YouTubers and whatever do it, but oh my lord.
Me too. Okay, so, yeah, it's a completely different type of crazy, I told Pearl, compared to the misconnections that we shared a couple weeks ago. This is,
It's something.
I already knew that these were, oh my god, people like this exist? But it's really just a whole different experience when you're, going through them yourself. So,
the audacity of men is one thing I'll say.
Oh my god. I was going to point out that there were so many posts that, majority of the posts that were from men were absolutely heinous.
And they're like, so, what do you think?
Heinous. Yes, you're the asshole.
You shouldn't have posted this online.
What is wrong with you? And then so many of the ones that women were posting were like, am I the asshole for wanting basic respect?
Literally.
Am I the asshole for wanting to be treated correctly?
Am I the asshole for not wanting to wipe my husband's stinky butt for him, even though he could do it himself?
Am I the asshole for wanting to take a shower? like a basic shit. And it's
unreal.
It's stark, you guys. It's just bad. But that isn't to say that there weren't plenty that were also men that weren't the asshole and women that definitely were. But
you know,
the
we got a dog on them a little bit.
We gotta.
You gotta.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, I will start this crazy train.
Hell yeah.
So my first post is from Reddit user 119975444. Am I the asshole for calling my wife unreasonable for backing out of spending Christmas with my family after my mother rejected her cookie sample?
The titles alone had me dying.
Context. For every holiday, my mother would ask the women in the family, my sisters, sister-in-law, my wife, my female cousins, to send samples of the desserts they planned to bring to the celebration for testing. And
Wait. Hold on. Who asked for the samples? The mother-in-law? The mother?
So this dude's mom asks all the women in the family
okay. Seems
to bring samples of desserts
not even gonna
for testing. Yeah, exactly. Send samples of desserts they plan to bring to the celebration for testing and to see if these desserts could make it to the food menu.
Jaw drops.
My wife has been complaining about my mother deliberately rejecting every dessert sample she sent. So many times my mother has told her she's being honest and keeping the guests' best interest at heart. Yet my wife still thought that my mother is deliberately excluding her since 2 of her dessert samples were rejected before.
I have never heard of anything like this.
Yeah.
That's really something.
It sure is. For this year's Christmas, my mother is doing the same thing, but this time she's told every woman who are participating to make a cookie sample and send it to her for testing. I have to keep in the incorrect grammar.
Oh, yes. You must.
My wife took it as a challenge, and to be honest, she worked really hard to make a good sample and sent it to my mother days ago, and the results just came in yesterday. I came home from work and found my wife upset. I asked what's wrong, and she told me that my mother rejected the sample she sent and decided to exclude her baking from the food list/menu for Christmas this year.
Oh.
I need to remember to breathe.
Yes.
I didn't know what to say, but she then told me she was backing out of the invitation to attend Christmas with my family. I was stunned when I heard her make this statement. I tried to talk to her, but she said, quote, "It was done." I called her unreasonable to decide to bail on the whole family over some cookie sample. That's just freaking crazy and quite unreasonable.
Yeah, that's the unreasonable part of this.
We had a full-on argument about it, and she stated that my mother caused this. But I told her that my mother is pretty serious and careful about the food she offers to the guests, since we are going to have relatives coming from all sides of the country. She told me to stop mentioning it. Later, I heard her cry, despite telling her that her baking is amazing, and people have preferences, that's all. Am I the asshole for insisting her decision was unreasonable? Info. If you're asking whose cookie sample made it to the menu, the answer is my sister and my 2 cousins. A few things to put on here. 1. My wife wasn't the only one whose sample was rejected. I have sister-in-laws and my younger sisters. 2. My mother did not force anyone to participate. It was up to whoever wanted to take part. And 3, this is just about the dessert, since my mother tends to be very careful in this category, but for other types of foods, dishes, appetizers, salads, stuff like that is welcome, as she stated.
I feel... Wait. Okay, sorry.
This one of the worst parts, or it is the worst part. Update. Great! So I just got off the phone with my brother, and he told me that his wife is doing the same thing as my wife, and that she's decided to back out of the invitation to spend Christmas with my family as well. Turns out my wife must have told her about the decision, and she decided to follow her lead. My brother is pissed, saying my wife is encouraging his wife to do this. I see that the problem has just gotten bigger now. Who knows? Maybe my younger sister might join in and decide not to go as well. I don't know how this got out of control so quickly. I guess we'll have to have a discussion with my mother about this soon and see how it goes. Oh my god.
I'm so confused. I'm like, is this like a black tie event? What's happening? Because the only reason I could see this being reasonable to have to, submit your samples ahead of time
for testing
a family holiday dinner.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I don't know, for most people, it's kind of like everyone gets to participate in the way they want to participate. Like. Everyone's got their favorite treats. But I'm like, unless we're serving the President of the United States, why is this such a process?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I love, my wife started crying even though I told her her baking is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much of a fucking idiot can you be? Honestly. Like,
I'm literally so confused.
You're the asshole, and so is your mom.
Yeah, your mom needs to pull the stick out of her ass. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That does seem to be a common theme with family holidays, is the control.
Yeah. Especially from, like, moms.
Yeah. And it's
of
like...
the family. And it's really not great. But yeah, your wife is trying to tell you, and has tried to tell you for a while, that she feels upset and excluded because of your mom excluded. And because of your family and what's going on. and you tell her she's being unreasonable.
I was gonna say, you're just gonna tell her to calm down?
Like, go suck on your mom's tit a little more. like, let your wife go at that point, because it sounds like you'd rather be married to your mom.
Yeah. Okay, mommy's boy.
Okay, mommy's
Move on.
Go back to mommy.
I hate that.
And
I hope
the whole, like, my brother's pissed at me because my wife...
Because now the wives are talking to each other?
Are...
You and your brother need to shut the fuck up.
Grow up.
You're the asshole.
Grow up. Yes, you are the asshole.
The asshole.
Asshole.
Oh my
God. What the fuck was that?
I'm literally obsessed. Okay. Well, Jesus. Alright, I have one. I don't think I saved this one, so I don't have the Reddit user's name. But, title. Am I the asshole for making my husband a vegan dinner even though he's completely against becoming one? I, 24, male, and my husband, 25, male, have been happily married for over a year now. We met through a mutual friend, and he learned very quickly that I am vegan. About a year after we met and got closer, we started dating. He had no issues with me being vegan, but made it very clear that I couldn't force him into being a vegan, which I respected. I haven't ever put him down for eating meat in front of me, as that is his choice, each to their own. We even served both vegan and meat-inclusive food at our wedding to accommodate both of our families. Up till now, everything was great. However, recently I've been seeing a ton of vegan recipes on my Pinterest and decided I wanted to try to make one for dinner. We don't usually end up getting fancy dinners at home as both of us work full-time, but I found some time today to cook something up. It was a recipe for pulled pork sandwiches, but the pork wasn't actually pork. Instead, it was jackfruit. Mm-hmm. He seemed a little stressed about work, but I showed him the surprise dinner, and that seemed to help his mood out. He ate it happily and even complimented my cooking. But when he asked what was in it, and when I told him it was pulled pork sandwich with jackfruit as a meat alternative, he lashed out.
Oh my God.
He shouted, telling me that he made it clear he was staying a meat eater. I tried explaining that I wasn't trying to turn him into a vegan, but he just walked away. This happened a few hours ago, and he's now refusing to talk to me.
Oh my God.
I feel like I might be the asshole for making him a vegan meal, even though he'd made it extremely clear he wouldn't become one. Because even if it wasn't my intention to make him one, I still made a vegan dinner that passed off as one with meat in it. So, am I the asshole? Edit. This was a pretty commonly asked question, so I'll just clear it up. I didn't say it was pulled pork sandwich. All I said was that I had made some sandwiches for us. Nothing more, nothing less. Dude.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Vegans who act like it's... people who act like
make food.
Vegan food is like some crazy...
Literally, he was just like, oh, this sounds like a fun recipe to try. I'm gonna make it. And like, surprise, like, typically we don't have homemade dinners. Let's try it out.
Found a recipe they liked.
Yeah, and
they weren't trying to trick you. What?
Why?
Especially with him being like, oh, this is delicious.
Grow up. Do better.
You're not gonna die if you don't have meat.
You're not gonna die. Don't worry. Your balls aren't gonna fall off if you have some vegan food every once in a while.
What is
Get
happening?
over yourself.
What is happening?
What the hell is
I'm
wrong
also
with
like,
you?
do you think that someone has the power to turn you into a vegan? Because that is quite literally only your choice. You're not gonna die. It's like when people get weird about vegetarian stuff too, and it's like, do you realize you eat a lot of vegetarian stuff all the time?
Literally.
Like, do you have meat with every single meal and snack in your entire life? If so,
you only eat meat?
Might want to get your body checked out.
Yeah, maybe try to incorporate some more things into your diet.
Also, can I just say, have you ever had jackfruit?
I have.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's super good. It's super good.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how you scored. And
shockingly, the consensus was not the asshole.
No, honey, you're not the asshole, okay? No, your husband is. Oh my god. What is wrong with people? Alright. So, the next one I have is pretty short, but in my opinion, it's one of my favorites. It's by Reddit user Chupacabra Throra? Throra?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for teaching my 20-year-old male niece, 4-year-old female, to say El Chupacabra when her mom, 32 female, says, you know what really gets my goat?
Oh my god. Love.
Basically title, I guess. My sister has a habit of saying, you know what really gets my goat? She probably says it 7 to 8 times a day. So like that Tumblr post, I taught my niece to say El Chupacabra when her mom says it. It sounds a bit more like Supacaba, though, because she's 4, but it's adorable. I told my niece it was a monster from Mexico that eats goats, and she didn't seem to care or anything, probably because the only monster she knows is Cookie Monster. But apparently now my niece walks around the house saying El Chupacabra all day, and now my sister and brother-in-law are mad at me for teaching her this, but in my opinion, it's kind of adorable and also harmless, but like, she's my sister's kid, so I don't know.
I was gonna say, talk about harmless. I mean, if you were teaching them how to, like, cuss and whatever.
Yeah.
That would be one thing.
Yes.
But come on. And this kid's gonna grow up to be a little cryptid lover.
Yeah, completely harmless. Super cute.
I mean, like, I bet your kid's saying a bunch of other annoying shit all the time, too.
I would be cracking up, honestly.
Like,
if I had a kid that just randomly was like, in
their little kid voice?
In a little 4-year-old voice, I would die.
I'd be obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is too
No,
much.
You're not the asshole.
You are not the asshole.
It's super funny. I think it's a great gag.
I've got a shorter one here. Am I the asshole for calling my cat, quote, mean names, unquote, when he fart? When he fart? I have a cat named Bartholomew's.
I love Bartholomew.
He's a very nice cat, but he farts more than any cat I've ever met. I've changed his food several times and so far have found only one that doesn't give him diarrhea, but he still farts a lot.
Oh no.
The vet said that if he does better on the food he gets now, he should just stay on it. There's nothing else wrong with him. He's the friendliest cat ever and plays all day and loves to snuggle. I usually call him Bart, so he's Bart the fart or stinky fuzz butt. Sometimes when he's really, really stinky, I call him rancid ass because he is. My grandma hates that I call him names and says it's mean, that I should only call him nice nicknames. Bart seems to not have an opinion on them at all, but I am an asshole if I keep calling him rancid ass when she doesn't like it? ? I should also say that we do not live together, but she visits me a lot and Bart goes with me when I visit her.
Rancid ass.
Edit. Any fart-related nicknames are unacceptable to her, laughing, crying emoji. She thinks it's mean to make fun of him for being stinky because he can't help it. She doesn't care about the word ass.
Oh my god.
You're not the asshole, but that is hilarious.
No, that is just so funny.
Oh, the grandma's just like, you gotta be nice.
Like, stop being mean to the cat. He can't help his tummy issues.
He can't help his stinky little ass.
Oh, that's so
also
funny.
Oh my goodness, Farty, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness, poor little tum. I love the name Bartholomew's.
Such a good name for a cat.
Honestly. So the next one I have is from Reddit user Slow Pianist 4431.
Lil Pianist?
Slow pianist. Like someone who plays the piano, which is really funny. It reminds me the other day. I'm not sure if I was browsing Netflix or something, but somewhere that word came up. And Isaiah just goes, penis.
I was gonna say, did you say Lil Penis?
And anyway, that's my story.
Dude, I used to work at a bar/restaurant that had peanuts, shell on peanuts, and everyone all the time would be like, did you say penis? Anyone of any age.
I know people whom I will not name to protect their identity who call peanut, little peanut, and they're not joking.
It's like,
they're not joking.
Nope.
That's how they say her name, peanut.
There's so many times.
That's not how you say it. What is wrong with you?
Customers would be like, can I have some peanuts? And I'd be like,
peanuts?
What? Oh, peanuts. Okay, yeah, you can have that.
You want some penis?
We don't do that here. What? You want some penis? I can't give you that.
Yeah. Not here, honey. Anyway, yeah, Slow Pianist. I don't even think I'm saying it right anymore. 4431.
Doesn't matter.
Am I the asshole for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it?
Oh my god.
My female 28, sister-in-law Amy, female 26, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet or dumbs up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. Okay. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I've just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. That was such an eye roll from Pearl.
Is that all?
Amazing. No. Oh. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the asshole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men.
Oh my god.
As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, "This wallet?"
That is a slay.
Yeah. She was extremely furious. She said I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So am I the asshole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Edit. Wow, thanks for all the awards. Jeez, lol. So many comments that I can't keep up, but thank you to everyone who had something to say. Edit 2. Amy just called me. She saw this post and she yelled at me for bad-mouthing her on the internet. Honestly, I don't care. Amy, hopefully reading all these comments is a wake-up call for you.
Amy, I agree. Drop the mic.
Amazing.
I am shocked. Actually, I'm not.
I gotta say, I don't think that you're the asshole. I think that your sister-in-law is the asshole for deliberately, trying to mooch off of you. And I think that was a clever queen move.
Yeah, that's fucking rude. If you're, broke, and you're, your sister-in-law or whatever wants to get a meal with you, and they're like, oh, I don't really have money, though. Could you pay for that? That would be one thing. But if it's like a repeated thing where they just assume / put you in the position where you have to pay every single time,
they're just taking advantage of you. That's just manipulative.
Weird.
And she was the one who made the reservation at a restaurant. So in my mind, you made the reservation, you chose the restaurant, then that means that's like a treat on you sort of deal. That's like unless all of you decided, let's go to this restaurant and split our bills, and you're all equally like responsible. If you make that reservation, you're like, oh, we're gonna go here, I made a reservation. That is 100%,
bring your fucking wallet.
That is 100% like you should be responsible for the entire bill at that point. Because if you're gonna go there and like not talk to the other people about it first, then it's not their responsibility to pay like a fat check when they didn't agree to go to this place.
No, like, that's the kind of thing where you gotta be either expecting to pay for everyone or being like, hey, are y'all okay with this?
Yeah.
Also, if you don't have that much money, go get some fast food together or something. Like, it's... Oh, this blows my mind. Or don't go out to eat. I don't know. Fuck. That is bizarre. Yeah. Amy, I'm sorry, Queen, but wake up.
Yeah, you're not the asshole. Your sister-in-law is.
I'm shocked.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for using my pool in my backyard? Hey, everyone. Did you see this one?
No.
Oh. I'm a 30-year-old male. I have a house down here in Florida, and around evening time, after a long day of work, etc., I love taking a dive in my pool, in parentheses, in my backyard, and have a nice swim for a while. I just find it soothing, relaxing, and it helps me sleep better, and I feel much better, and it's something I look forward to every day. If I had a pool, same, 100% same.
That sounds amazing.
A week or so ago, while I was walking my dog, a lady came... While I was walking my dog out, a lady came up to me and said, oh, hi, I'm Janice. I'm your new neighbor. So good to see you. I just wanted to introduce myself. I live right next door to you with my daughter, and we just moved in. And then she shook my hand and walked off. All good. The owner of that house is named Gary. He's a great guy. He's in his 50s. I've known him for ages. So he usually rents out that house, and so these are his new tenants. He used to live in that house, but for the past few years, he's been renting it out. So every day around 6 to 7 p.m., I go take a dive in my pool. I take my shirt off, just wearing my swimming trunks, and I go right into my pool and start swimming. Every day, I see a lady sitting on her balcony just watch me swim. Oh. I don't care, or so just mind my business, swimming, or I might sit on the chair in the pool just relaxing, minding my own business. Yesterday, while I was swimming at 7 p.m., I hear a loud banging knocking noise on my door. I get up from my pool, dry myself, put a pair of clothes on, and go to the front door and say, hey, Janice, how's it going? And she says, what's going on is you're trying to lure my innocent daughter into your trap, and I know how this goes. I then told her, Janice, I'm not luring anybody, I'm minding my business. She then said, I don't care about all that, but listen, put some clothes on and stop swimming at your pool. We have children over here. And then I say, it's my pool and it's my property, Janice. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I just go inside and close the door.
Christ almighty, what is wrong with people? Stop.
Janice.
Stop.
What's going on is you're trying to lure my innocent daughter into your trap.
Okay, first of all, mind your own business. She's all, I don't care about all that. Second of all, stop sexualizing children.
Yeah.
I'm sure your kid has not thought fucking twice about it. And third of all, it's a human body. He's minding his own business.
He's not swimming naked, and even if he was, he's in his own damn fucking backyard.
He's not naked. He's literally swimming like any other person with a penis swims.
In Florida, for Christ's sake. Of course you're gonna be in that bitch every night.
Yeah, shirtless, swim trunks.
Come on.
Crazy.
I know how this goes. Are you serious, Janice?
Get over yourself.
It's
Janice.
So funny.
Christ
almighty. That was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, Janice is the asshole.
Janice.
You
God.
Karen. I bet that she was a nice Southern Christian woman.
You bet your sweet little tush. Some of the comments were like, I have a feeling her daughter was the one who was noticing this guy and she was mad about it. Like, that's a good point. You know, a 16-year-old, I think it said in there she was 16. God.
Or maybe Janice was the one noticing him.
Gouge my eyes out.
And she was like, actually,
couldn't help but notice your bod.
Couldn't help from noticing your sweet bod. You're tempting my children.
The devil. The devil is tempting me and my children. With your hot bod.
I would never.
Maybe they're just jealous that they don't have a pool. Maybe they do have a pool. I don't know.
Maybe she's just
I thought that was
miserable,
hilarious, though, and all the...
She sounds miserable. Goodness.
And they also, it said, OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I might be the asshole for causing the disruption for her family.
No, you literally are not.
For a second.
You have literally not done anything wrong.
If you were just, no. This is
you
so
did not
upsetting.
change your daily, routine. You were minding your own business, doing what you do all the time. They just happened to move in, and somehow they think this is, a new thing.
I also love Janice literally sitting out and staring at him every night.
Right?
Sounds like you got a little
Sounds
bit
like you got a thing, Janice.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got the hots because your husband left you 5 years ago and you haven't been able to get anything since then because you're an asshole.
She's like, I shouldn't have to look at your bod. You're trying to lure me into your trap.
Not your hot bod.
I want a hot dog real bad.
And I'm taking the dog. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Get a life, Janice.
Get a fucking life, dude.
And repent.
Repent. Gouge your eyes out. I gotta sneeze.
Uh-oh.
I think it might go away, though. I'm not sure. Okay. I fear I may have been a little too harsh on Janice. Mentioning her potential husband leaving her 5 years ago. I may have been crossing a line. I don't know.
Janice is out there somewhere fucking cursing you.
Sorry. My bad. Anyway.
I don't give a fuck, Janice.
Peanut?
Peanut?
So cute.
I'm not
Please
gonna start doing that, because if
that.
I start, I won't be able to stop.
And then you will never be allowed in my house again.
In the peanut palace.
I want to get a sign for the front door or something.
Yes!
Peanut Palace.
That would be so cute.
Princess Peanut's Palace. Anyway, I'm obsessed with my dog. The next, this is from Reddit user Throwaway Mad and Sad.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for what I, 24 male, said to my sister, 27 female, about minding her business? Throwaway, because this is very personal and embarrassing for my sister.
Oh my god.
This happened a while ago, and I'm still getting shit for it, so I think I know your answer, but maybe some explanation will help. So around 6 months ago, my fiancé, we were together for around 7 years, but were friends before that, left me because she, quote, realized she never loved me and that I was holding her back.
Okay.
She was not interested in therapy, and I'm not in the habit of begging someone to stay, so I helped her pack dropped her off at a hotel, which is what she wanted, and where she asked to be left. About a month ago, she called me crying in the middle of the night to say that she had made a mistake and wanted to come home. I had promptly hung up on her because I also firmly believe in the rule, don't let them tell you they don't want you more than once.
Okay.
Apparently my family didn't get the memo because for a while after that, my family, particularly the older women, had been pressuring me to hear her out and even going so far as to tell me her side of the story and how she had a breakdown and it didn't have anything to do with me. Blah, blah, blah. Don't buy it. My sister recently called me out of the blue and started talking to me about how I don't want to be the reason for anything bad, so I should call and talk to my ex. I tried to brush it off, but she kept saying things like, well, you don't want it to be your fault is all I'm saying, and shit like that.
I'm nervous.
I didn't like what she was implying, so I admit I snapped and said something not so nice. Something kind of like, maybe you should worry about your own relationship. I mean, God knows it takes all of your mental fortitude to keep your pants on. Which is bad, because her first 2 marriages ended due to cheating on her end.
He's like, oh, you're gonna come for me?
It's like, I'm gonna come for you harder, dude. Whew. After a moment, she started crying on the phone and kept saying, I can't believe you would say that, and that's so cruel. You don't know what I went through. I replied saying something like, and that's usually why I stay out of it, you know? Try to mind my business. Apparently that, quote, isn't even close to the same thing. And since I had been getting yelled at, since then, I've been getting yelled at by all the women in the family. But at least the ex talk has quit. Am I the asshole?
God.
In my opinion, no.
I mean, gosh. That is...
layered.
Yeah. I would say no. I mean, like, it's completely your prerogative to be like, you know what? No, you fucking left me.
Yeah,
I'm
after
done.
7+ years, you don't just tell somebody out of the blue, I never loved you, bye.
And then think in the middle of the night, call them and be like, I made a mistake.
Like, think that that's not going to have any repercussions? Like,
yeah. I mean, like, you fully left.
That's a horrible thing to do to somebody.
So, I mean, like...
It's their, like, if
like,
it's
his
decision.
It's his choice.
Yeah, the ball's in his court because you kind of, like, left him, dude.
And, like,
that's a horrible thing to
you
tell
wouldn't
someone.
Want it to be your fault if something horrible happened.
Like,
fuck that.
That just screams, like, emotional, like, manipulation.
Yeah.
And you don't have any right to, like, try and give relationship advice, one, out of the blue, when it's, like, completely unwarranted and unwanted. And also, like, you're a cheater that has had 2 failed marriages because of things that you've done.
The only thing I would say about that is, like, I don't know what this sister's marriages were like. Like, if she was in an abusive marriage or something, that's the kind of thing where I'm like, different. I don't give a fuck what you do. Fuck that, man. So if there is, which the other thing, I don't trust a single man. So I'm like, is there more context that we're missing?
To the story?
But based off of these details?
Yeah. Only what we have, it does not seem like you're the asshole.
Yeah.
You could have, like, gone about things better, and there's, you know, no really reason to make such a low jab to somebody.
Yeah.
That was pretty not cool, but, I mean, you know, people in your family for a while have been trying to, like, convince you to talk to your ex when you've made a decision. It's
completely your choice if you want to or not.
Like, they're not respecting your decision. Like, I could see why you would snap, but it still wasn't a cool thing to do, you know?
In a situation in which this sister is just, like, a bad person and cheated on 2 of her husbands and ended the marriage that way, honestly, I think some people need to be called out sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there may be more nuance, but...
It's layered like an onion, baby.
Oh, my God. That's so interesting.
It's something.
Also, 7 years.
7 years, that's the thing. It's like, you don't stay with somebody for 7 years to tell them, I have never loved you, and leave.
And have it just be that instead of, like, okay, maybe she's going through some shit and she needs to talk about some shit.
Why not you just go like, hey, I think I need some time.
I need some space, whatever.
That is such a horrible thing to tell someone.
And then just expect them to take you back. I'm sorry.
No, that's not how the world
honestly, works. Yeah.
Nor thanks. So the next one I have is from Reddit user FitPurchase99.
Right? Proper fit.
Am I the asshole for refusing to split half the check for dinner with my best friend like we usually do?
Oh, God.
My best friend, Vanessa, 24 female, and I, 25 female, have been best friends since the 2nd grade. We've been supportive of each other's successes and accomplishments, and we're always there when one of us needed the other. We've also always split the check when we go out for dinner or brunch or anything like that. We've agreed to do that for a long time, plus it saves time and doesn't complicate things for us and the servers, and it didn't matter how much one of us ordered. She was the one who suggested it, and I was like, okay, sure. I'm not really a big eater, so whenever we would go out, I would only order about 15 to 35% of the entire price for both. Vanessa, on the other hand, always has a huge appetite and would order 65 to 85%. The percentages depend on the occasion, appetites, and the price of the food. Recently, Vanessa got a huge promotion at her job for which she had been working her ass off and she wanted to celebrate. So she suggested that we go out to this fine dining restaurant nearby, and I agreed because she deserved it. But before I continue, I should add that a few weeks prior, my older sister Bianca told me how ridiculous it was that I was splitting the check by paying half of it when I would only order food that amounted to only a quarter of the check.
Annoying.
So before blah 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 blah.
Blah blah.
Crazy, right? So before Vanessa and I ordered our food, I told her that I only want to pay for the food that I will order. She said, okay. When she saw that I was actually paying for my own food, she was like, wait, you were being serious before? Yes, I was being serious. And she said, oh, I wouldn't have ordered so much food if I knew you were being serious.
Girl, what?
The total bill was around $560. And I only ordered about $145 worth of food.
First of all, take me with you. What's going on? Where are you going?
Right? Where is that? What is worth that much?
Only $145.
Was it good? Worth. I asked her why she wouldn't think I was being serious, and she said that it's because we've been splitting the check in half for so long that she literally thought I was joking. I told her that I'm just sick and tired of paying half when I only order a small percentage. Like, I'm paying at least $50 to $100 more than I should every time. So she became a bit mad and said, and you just decided to be a bitch and pull this stunt on the day I got promoted? Fine then, I will pay for my food.
Yeah, you will.
Good for you. Do you want a medal?
God.
And she did, and she just left right after without even waiting for me, which is not cool because she had picked me up at my place and drove us there, so I had to call an Uber and pay $36 for the ride home. This morning, my phone is full of messages from my other friends saying that I was an asshole for demanding this on the day of her big promotion and for being a cheapskate. I just don't want to overpay so much. It's fine if it's $10 to $20 more than what I ordered, but over $50? That amount can go towards necessities and bills. So am I the asshole?
Not in any fucking universe.
No, your friend sounds like an asshole, and she doesn't sound like your friend.
So unreasonable.
The part that gets me the most is her friend saying, I wouldn't have ordered so much food if I knew you were being serious, because it proves that she's been taking advantage
of you,
of her friend. Like, she was purposefully ordering,
I mean, like,
a ton because she knew that her friend would only pay for 50%.
I would feel so guilty if my friend had to pay $10-$20 more than the shit they actually ate.
Because you're a real friend.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Oh?
It'd be completely different, like, I mean, well, and it wasn't so much that you just out of the blue did it either. Like, you literally told her, I'm only going to pay for my food this time. And she didn't believe you. That's not your fault.
You and didn't clarify that you were being serious.
And she just got a promotion.
I was gonna say,
you can pay for it now, can't you?
Honestly, if I got a promotion, I'd be like, I'm gonna treat my friend to a nice lunch or whatever.
I don't understand, like,
on the day
of audacity.
My big promotion.
on my day. I don't understand the audacity and, like, selfishness of people. Like, because there's one thing that just blew me away when I was reading all of these. Like, going through the Reddit thread is just, like, and in no way am I saying, like, I'm so much better than most people or anything like that. And I know that it's, like, essentially you're a product of your environment, but it's, like, I just can't imagine acting like these people with people who are supposed to be your friends or your family or your spouse. Like, and to think that your, like, actions are warranted.
And then to, like, turn other people against them as well and have your friends texting you that you're an asshole and you're a dick.
How miserable are you?
Because you didn't want to pay for fucking 300 some shit, or not 300, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That is absurd. The amount of people that assume somebody else is going to pay for them is really weird to me. I'm like, maybe these are just all, like, rich people and this is rich people problems.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want to be able to, like, treat my friends and stuff. Like, I don't want people to pay for me.
Yeah.
and so I know that's it seems like that's a very opposite, like, stance to have with money, because it seems like a lot of people are more so, man. Like,
it seems like there's a lot of, like, social expectations when it comes to money, especially around meals.
Going out.
Yeah, exactly.
Drinks and meals.
And I don't know, man. It's like, she told you what she was about. I don't know why you're acting this way. She told you. She was literally
She communicated. Yeah, she was upfront.
And you just, chose not to believe her?
It's not like she only paid for what she ordered right when the check came, and then she ditched you with the rest of the check. Like,
also...
And the fact that you're calling her a bitch. Like, so you decided to be a bitch on the big...
And then you abandon her?
And then you
catch these hands.
Her? You do not sound like a friend.
Your friend is the asshole.
Asshole.
Someone needs to bring that lassie down to earth.
Bring that lassie down.
Lassie. Okay. This one is incredible.
Prefaced with another magnificent eye roll.
Am I the asshole for bringing my baby to my friend's wedding after she asked me not to?
Oh.
One of my very close friends invited me to her wedding, which was going to be far from where we live. 6.5-hour train journey, then 2-hour drive from there.
Whoa.
Invites went out a year in advance, and I was pregnant at the time. They asked that children not attend, with a couple of exceptions for family, but stated that babies were allowed to attend.
Huh?
I knew that we'd be tight for money by the time the wedding rolled around, as I would be on maternity leave, so I immediately booked the travel, car, and hotels to make sure we could afford to go. Wedding was in the middle of nowhere, so I also wanted to make sure I could stay close to the venue, as I'd be traveling with a baby. 2 weeks before the wedding, and I meet with the bride for coffee. We've been busy and not seen each other in a few months. My son was an early walker, walking at 8 months. He's almost a year old when we meet, and she comments on how advanced he is for his age. She doesn't say anything else, but later messages to say she didn't realize my son would be walking already, and please can I not bring him to the wedding?
Because he can walk?
I'm shocked. I booked and paid for the whole trip a year prior, and the wedding is now 2 weeks away. He's still breastfeeding, and I've never spent a night away from him at this point. As the wedding was far, we booked 2 nights near the wedding plus an additional night in the city on the way back. If I'd known he wasn't invited from the start, I could have made other arrangements, but I have no options now. Plus, the accommodation in the area of the venue was now fully booked. The venue is in a fairly remote location, and it's all non-refundable. I tell her I'm sorry, but I can't not bring him now with such late notice. She suggests we get a babysitter.
That's...
Okay. But it's super expensive, and I've never left him with anyone before. I can tell she's annoyed, but she doesn't say anything else. She and her husband are very wealthy, so I'm not sure she understands how tight we are for cash while I'm not working. We attended with him, and there are about 4 other babies his age there, but none are walking. There are also about 3 other young children, ages approximately 4 to 7. He is as good as gold and doesn't make a peep, although I do take him out during the speeches just to be safe. He's a great sleeper, so I put him to sleep in his pram after dinner, and I'm looking forward to spending a couple hours there before heading back. However, the bride's mother approaches me immediately after dinner and basically strongly suggests we leave now. I'm really upset by this. We've only been there for 3 hours, and it took 8 hours travel to get there, but I feel unwelcome at this point, so we leave.
Yeah.
It's kind of ruined our friendship, as I feel that she behaved badly. I accept that it's her wedding, and she should be able to specify her wants on her day. But I feel like 2 weeks' notice when I planned carefully so far ahead in order to be able to attend was unfair, especially since other babies were there.
Yeah, that is so weird.
Edit. I had to reduce my original word count, so I took this out, but apparently it's very relevant. The bride also had a baby, around 5 to 6 months. When we got there, the wedding, we found out wasn't a wedding anymore, but was now a christening.
Huh?
We weren't told this beforehand. She didn't wear a wedding dress, and they didn't do vows or walk the aisle. We knew as originally planned. We did know they had gotten legally married in a small service before this. They were calling it a celebration for friends and family. There was a mix of wedding speeches after the dinner and a lot of talk about the real wedding that was supposedly wonderful and also had speeches, but that most of us hadn't been invited to.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much to unpack here.
I want to just comment really quickly that Peanut's eating food in the background, so I don't know if you can hear it. If you can, I apologize. I hope it's not too distracting.
Hopefully it's not too loud.
But what the fuck?
The first part is bad enough.
But then it being a christening is fucking weird.
You're telling me I traveled 8 fucking hours for your christening that I didn't know?
What the fuck? And then I wasn't actually invited to your real wedding, plus why... What?
And
your
also
kids not being there?
Okay, so you clearly had a young child when not the poster of this, but her friend, when you asked her 2 weeks before the wedding not to bring her child, you had a baby. So you know at least something about what it's like.
Can do, babes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm still breastfeeding. I've never spent a night away from my baby. Get a babysitter? Are you insane?
What the fuck?
You get a fucking babysitter. What is going on? I didn't realize he'd be walking. I didn't realize your baby was so advanced. Can you leave it the fuck home?
Just because he can walk? Okay. And I'm stunned.
To arrive and there to be both babies and toddlers and young children.
And it being a christening is blowing my fucking mind.
And then the bride's mom being like, can you guys leave? Yeah, I'm not surprised that your friendship's kind of over now.
Yeah. Because that is some weird shit, dude.
Again, rich people shit. What the fuck?
I would never throw a party. Okay, first of all, my children won't be christened. But second of all,
right.
Second of all, who does that? Maybe, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I've never been to a christening, but
to think
a big party that is akin to a wedding. It's supposed to be a wedding, but all of a sudden it's not. Because you got married before. Haha, you weren't there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually a christening for my baby, but your baby wasn't allowed, even though there are other babies here. You should leave.
I would be so livid if I spent that money and I did all that work and traveled. I mean, like, traveling is exhausting. Traveling with a baby.
Overstimulating. Yeah, with a baby, I cannot imagine.
And I can't imagine how expensive that shit was. They're staying for 3 days. They've got to pay for their travel.
For food, for lodging.
And they'd be like, oh, I'm glad they're talking about this wedding that I thought I was going to be attending right now.
I would literally never talk to that person again because that is so absurd. I've never heard a story like that.
So shocked.
Man, okay. Anyway, my last one is kind of long, but it's interesting. And then we can go ahead and close out. This is from ThroWRA23U490.
All right.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend that her boyfriend was checking me out just to spite her?
Wait.
So I'm ending on a juicy one.
Okay, I'll get the context I'm hoping for, I think.
Okay. So I, 23 female, became friends with Stella, 23 female, in college. We were roommates and always had a great time together. Back in January, Stella decided she wanted to get a boob job. She had always been insecure about her chest size and would usually tell me about it. I completely supported her and told her I'd be more than happy to help her out during the healing process. After a few months, her implants had settled in and they looked great. Stella seemed really confident and I was beyond happy for her. The issue was that shift in her attitude. I was not exactly sure what happened, but she started taking digs at me. For reference, I've always had a bigger chest. Stella would always compliment me on it and say how lucky I am. Now, Stella comments about how saggy my chest is. As soon as I'd ask her to stop, she'd just say she was joking. One time we were both wearing a low-cut top, and she kept calling my chest saggy and saying I needed to wear a bra for them to look good. We got into a fight about it, and again I was brushed off and called insecure. A few days ago, we were at my apartment with 3 other friends. All of us were playing board games and having fun. After a while, one of our friends complimented Stella's implants and told her how good she looked. I'm not sure what happened after that, but she started going at me again. She asked my boyfriend if he liked grandma tits.
He's like, hell yeah, I do!
God. He asked her what she meant, and she started ranting about how natural breasts sag fast and don't usually sit as nicely as implants. Me and my boyfriend just looked at each other and didn't say anything. I honestly just wanted to have a good time and didn't want to start anything by arguing with her. I kept catching Stella's boyfriend staring me straight in my face or at my chest, so I grabbed my boyfriend's sweatshirt and put it on. After I put it on, Stella started laughing and whispering with one of our other friends.
I'm gonna bury Stella in my backyard.
Yeah, I'll help you. I ignored it and went to the kitchen, and Stella followed me. She made a comment about how men will always prefer perkier breasts over saggy ones. I just snapped at that.
You paid for those!
Yeah. I told her that if men liked perkier breasts over saggy ones, she should explain to me why her man can't take his eyes off of me.
Not the asshole.
She went quiet and she and her boyfriend left. I honestly feel bad for what I said. I told my boyfriend about it and he and our friends that were at my apartment told me I was right. I've gotten texts from Stella, though, calling me a piece of shit and an asshole.
I'm filled with rage.
She said I took a joke seriously and embarrassed both her and her boyfriend. My boyfriend has also gotten texts from Stella's boyfriend saying that I started a problem in their relationship just because I wanted to be petty. I don't feel bad for telling her off, but I do feel bad for how I did it. I probably shouldn't have got her boyfriend involved. I will apologize if I'm in the wrong, so am I the asshole? No, you're not.
First of all, even if there was no boob job drama, you should probably mention something if your friend's boyfriend is staring at your tits.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
If none of that was going on, you should talk to your friend if you catch her boyfriend staring at your chest.
And I'm also like, so you were Stella was continually making digs at her, making fun of her, being a mean fucking person. And this person, the poster of this, seemingly taking it for the most part and just being like, I don't want to start shit with you. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen? Person. You're gonna berate this person repeatedly and then they're just gonna be like, oh, you're right.
Yeah, other people aren't your fucking punching bags just because you're insecure about your own body.
It's also like, ever heard of the male gaze? What makes you think that there is a right way for your tits to look?
Anything that resembles boobs, they'll stare at.
I'm like, pro saggy tits, first of all. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed. Oh my God.
No, Stella's definitely the asshole, and it's kind of the one part of me is like, it's sad that she's that way because she's obviously so insecure and has been for so long.
It is. It is really sad.
That she got surgery for it. Maybe she would have gotten surgery or implants if she was confident too. That's completely fine. But it's just very, very obvious that she's been unhappy and not confident at all in her body and her appearance for a very, very long time. And
the fucking
obviously
superiority
the implants
complex
didn't fix it because that's not going to fix it. She's obviously very jealous of OP.
Your natural beauty.
And needs to bully her to make herself feel better. So, like, if you're...
Also, for her getting all the support
get what you put out
from you hyping her up, being like, yes, get that boob job.
Yeah.
I will be there for you.
She was a great friend to you, Stella.
And then to turn around and be like, saggy tits much? It's like,
jerk.
Bitch, you didn't even have tits till 2 seconds ago. And it's obviously like, I am for anyone doing whatever they want to their body. The boob job itself is clearly not the problem here.
No, it's clearly...
Like, you're off your rocker.
You need to go to a therapist.
That is wild.
And yeah,
be insecure in private like the rest of us.
Maybe try to be a good friend at some point.
Stelly, you had a good friend.
But good for OP standing up for herself.
And good for her boyfriend and her friends for standing up for her.
Her boyfriend sounds like an OG. And
Stella's boyfriend sounds like a dirtbag. You cause problems in my relationship?
No, you shouldn't have been staring at another
I seem to remember someone's gaze on my bosom.
Yeah. Again,
that's hilarious.
Men do better.
So satisfying for her to be like, well, yeah, then why was your boyfriend staring at my tits? And then for her to just be like,
and then to leave. Stella was silent. She went quiet and she and her boyfriend left. That would have felt so, like, I could understand feeling bad, like, guilty about it. And I don't know, OP just sounds like a really good person, like supportive friend, really understanding, trying to be the bigger person, and still...
Trying to be the bigger person when she did not have to.
When she did not have to, and still saying, I will apologize if I'm in the wrong. Like, you're a banging person.
And then also for her to be like, I'm uncomfortable, your boyfriend's staring at my boobs, puts a sweatshirt on, and then for her to be made fun of even for that, it's like, dude, you're not gonna have any friends that are your actual friend.
Like, you're making fun of me because your boyfriend wants to fuck me. Do you realize that? You realize
just say you're jealous and move on.
Just say you're a jealous dirtbag and do better.
Wow.
Yeah, super, super crazy. All of the Am I the Asshole posts are just mind-boggling. But yeah, that was our little rant today for you.
If you want to support us, which I bet you do, I bet you do. Thirsting for that knowledge. Obviously, go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Rants and Rabbit Trails Podcast. Like our content, maybe type a little comment here and there. We got some stuff on our stories that's fun sometimes, some little interactive stuff. Also, one really big way you can help is to rate us on whatever platform you use. Give us 5 stars. Write a little review in there if you can. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Yeah,
on Spotify at least there should be a little what did you think of this episode section if you want to interact with our episodes individually on there as well. Let us know what your favorite part was. Thanks again for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Girl, bye.
Girl, bye.